It helps unlock major development sites both north and south of the river. We believe will bring, or assist in bringing, up to 20,000 new jobs to this part of East London. We think that's crucial for the economic growth of this part of London. West of Tower Bridge there are 17 fixed road crossings. East of Tower Bridge there are only 2. The river is a major point of severance for communities north and south of the river. A new crossing here will do much to help both bridge communities but help economic activity grow in this part of town. London is proposing a fixed crossing at probably a tunnel at Silvertown, and we support that. He's also proposing to replace the current Woolwich ferry with a new one, but move it slightly further east towards the Galleons-Beckton area. A new ferry would cost up to £150 million, but it has all the problems of the old ferry in terms of it's subject to the weather, it's off sometimes, the boats need to be maintained and so on. A fixed crossing at Galleons gives you up to 10 times the capacity. A ferry gives you maybe 350 vehicles an hour. A road bridge would give you up to 4,000 vehicles an hour crossing the river. That's really important. And also it gives you the option of having a public transport link across a fixed bridge. So we think that's a much better option in terms of for the money, and that's why we support it. We're actually trying to reduce congestion. At the moment, the Blackwall Tunnel approach, north and south of the river, is the most congested piece of road in the whole of London every day. We're trying to reduce that congestion so a free movement of goods and services across the river. We think that's crucial for the economic growth of London. I understand some people are just ideologically opposed to all new roads. They need to grow up a bit. It's important that East London gets to grow. London itself will be growing with up to an additional 1 million people between now and 2030. We need that capacity to serve the needs of that new population and new businesses here in East London. That's why we need to.
No new roads, no more traffic accidents. What did you say the first time?
Well, we're opposed to all plans for new road crossings or any new crossings for vehicles, and that's because they simply don't work. There are all sorts of claims being made about how these two schemes that are being proposed at the moment would help cut congestion and would help also with regeneration. But in fact, all the evidence points in absolutely the opposite direction. The last time Blackwall Tunnel was doubled in size from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, traffic more than doubled within a year at peak time. So how would another 4 lanes of traffic help with that? And also the Thames Gateway Bridge had a long public inquiry, and that's a scheme where the other crossing that's being proposed is at, and the inspector at the public inquiry basically concluded that scheme was likely to cause increased congestion, and he also found that it wasn't going to help with regeneration. The claims made by Transport for London didn't stand up. So effectively, everybody knows that when you build new road space like this, you increase traffic levels, new journeys are made that otherwise wouldn't have been. And also the evidence shows that when you do that, increased traffic, congestion in the area around will also increase. These areas...
You know, we believe that we speak for the vast majority of residents and certainly businesses. I have a lot to do with businesses in my job, and people are constantly saying to me that they support this campaign, and that, I mean, take cab firms for example, they get incredibly frustrated at the gridlock that there is, as do people who work in East London, who live in Greenwich, or people who live in East London and work in Greenwich. You know, whichever way people are travelling through the Blackwall Tunnel, something goes wrong in that tunnel, somebody runs out of petrol, an overhyped vehicle gets in there and gets stuck, then actually the whole of South East London, the whole of Greenwich just gets gridlocked. And people get... Well, basically, London is going to grow by 1.1 million by 2031. And it's East and South East London that have got the capacity to take that growth and take that investment and add to the prosperity for our residents and businesses. And we believe that it's very important that there are increased crossings on the river here. Too long we have been starved of investment and decent transport links. And this is actually our chance to put that right and get better convergence with West London, where people are generally better off, wealthier, in better health and so on. And we basically need that transport infrastructure.
I've seen as well